Welcome to the Blind Eyed Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Destiny.
Yay!
Yay!
Very good.
I have nothing. I have no information on Destiny, so that's why it's like, woo, yay!
Well, did Matt mention something about having
Yeah, no. We're basically what we're going to do is we're going to touch up on everything that is Destiny, and then we're going to let those who have played talk about Destiny. And then we're going to basically share opinions. Today, we have me, Joshua Carling.
Dustin Blaze.
Abby Alejo.
Anthony Isanian.
Gregory Isanian.
Maddie Harden.
Okay.
Lag.
Sorry, I was
But, alright. So, basically, up to date on Destiny. Anyone want to start?
Well, it's been about 3
weeks?
3 weeks now?
Yeah.
Since Destiny's release.
Today is the 28th, and it released on the 9th of September.
Yep. And
That's actually exactly
close.
3 weeks.
2.5 weeks.
Close to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, 2.5.
You're talking business days.
Okay.
Alright.
Technicalities.
Technicalities. Anyway. Alright. How is it so far?
Amazing.
a lot of fun.
Yes, overall very fun, despite what
Except
the
the
mixed
Cryptarch.
reviews have been.
Is there any bugs or anything like that?
There has been, and there are a good amount of complaints, and there's already a bunch of memes, but...
Well, as far as bugs, I haven't experienced any.
Other than the Cryptarch.
Oh, yeah.
What's the Cryptar?
It's basically like you get this little engram whether you get your primary weapon, special weapon, heavy, or armor.
Engrams are what he means is a random item you can find on the ground that is coded, but you take it to the Cryptarch to get it decoded and unlocked,
Yes.
which becomes a new item.
Because when you pick it up as loot, you don't know exactly what item it is, so you have
So
to
it's
take it to the
like a surprise
Cryptarch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
In which there's four different colors. There's white for common, green for uncommon. Oh, 5. Blue for rare, purple for legendary, and yellow for exotic.
And that
I
goes
just
from
remembered that, I don't know who posted it, was one of you idiots, but
comics.
it was the thing where they used the Hitler video.
Oh, yes.
That was her.
Yeah,
That was
I posted it.
I thought it was one of you too, but
It was-
I was
Idiots.
I was
You don't
watching
have
it
to
and I
admit
thought it was
it.
hilarious.
Yes, for our listeners, there's this really age-old meme of that one. I don't know what it's actually called, but the Hitler movie.
It's a clip of Hitler in a bunker
Yeah, and over the
planning
years-
with his coworkers.
Over
or
the years,
something.
it's been dubbed over different topics, and there
Yeah.
was one about Destiny and engrams, and it was about how Bungie got rid of the looting cave, and Hitler was upset because he couldn't farm there anymore.
And what she means
Basically,
by
there was a cave in Earth, but they call it Cosmodrome, where there'll be about 7 enemies respawning after. You have to kill them in the cave. If they leave the cave, you got to kill them outside the cave so they can respawn back in. And
Why-
they'll just keep respawning after
Why
6
do you have
seconds.
to kill them in the cave?
Because
So,
once
because
they once
you kill them
reach
all, they
a-
respawn at 6 seconds later.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if they get too far from the cave, then
You would
the
have to
cave
basically
doesn't
go on a
spawn.
hunt.
Yeah, so you just have to wipe them out over and over, rinse and
You just
repeat.
mow them down as they're coming.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it'll drop weapon, ammo pickups, engrams for whatever item or armor. And it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
There was a guy who did it for an hour. He got 2 exotics, 3 legendaries, and
Dang.
4 rares.
2 exotics? I
Yeah.
haven't even seen one yet.
Yeah, I've never
And
seen an
it's
exotic engram.
all in 1 hour.
Yep. But as previously mentioned, Bungie patched it up so we can no longer farm there. I mean, you can technically, but
It's just it's not
It's
as quick.
downgraded.
yes, instead of the waves spawning one after another, I think there's a 10-minute limit between each wave now. So who the
40
fuck is going to do
40
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and another issue that's going on that they're actually going to be patching up this coming week is the issue that we were talking about before, which is with the Cryptarch, in which you get something say, a legendary, in which each particular engram you can get a certain type of item. It could be a different class, in which there's the common, uncommon, and so on and so forth. But there'll be times where you get a rare engram, and 90% of the time, or half the time, it becomes uncommon, which is a grade below.
Or common.
Can you buy engrams?
You can
Yes.
buy engrams, but
And
like
there's also
90%
into that.
but 90% of the time it's common, and the other 10% is uncommon.
Okay, I have a
You can buy engrams from your Cryptarch, but the different types of tiers that he offers depends on what level Cryptarch you have. Also, there's the black market that happens every weekend, and he usually sells at least one exotic
You
engram.
answered the question I was going to ask. Is there an auction house, in a sense?
No, not yet.
There's not really
yet.
there's not really an auction house, but there is sort of a quote unquote black market character that only arrives, as she said, during the weekends in very random areas of the tower, which is the main hangout hub so you can get new equipment, you can hang out with your friends, store things in your vault, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Okay. So, basically, summing up, I'm going to go to each one of you, and you're basically going to give a rundown of your characters, how far you've progressed, and if you have multiple characters. Stop laughing.
You're going to have to start with from that way over.
I have one character. With this game, the drops is my worst enemy.
Yeah.
I got an exotic engram. It ended up being an uncommon.
Oh no. That's like polar opposites of the tier spectrum,
And
That's horrible.
the RNG system just loves Dustin.
which is random number generator, which controls,
Now,
the
at the
chance of your
Cryptarch-
drops.
Chancing,
Yes.
loot chances and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Now, with the Cryptarch, I'm at level 10. And by that, I should be already seeing legendaries to rares to exotics. But
And there's a big butt there.
all I'm seeing right this moment is common, uncommon.
Have you come up with a name for your character?
You don't make
you're-
up
you're-
names.
You
It's your
name.
It's your gamer, it's your PSN account.
Yeah.
Or gamer tag. That's your character's name.
So
Always
that
for him
means
is
there's a lot of
Dimebag.
people. Yeah, his is Dimebag Junior 66. Yeah, so that also means there's a lot of people with shitty names like XX, Broken Heart, 1992, XX.
There was actually a gamer tag on the PlayStation 4 network that said ... Xbox One ... I'm like, really?
Turn that off.
For the record, that's Anthony.
Yeah.
Before the show starts, please silence all cell phones and pagers.
Pagers. Who has a pager?
Yeah.
I would be mad.
Sponsor, man.
Yes,
Is
we
that
are.
a problem?
Yes, we
Just
are.
watch, I end up
Doing
having
podcast now.
pulling out a pager.
Dude, let's bring it back.
Anytime I hear pager, I think of Tron. Like Tron Legacy. Like, I got a page last night. You're still rocking the pager. Wow, man, good for you.
But,
Watch the iPhone 6 Plus. Let's go for the pagers. Okay, so
Okay.
I feel like I want to let him finish
No, but
though.
so what we were trying to mention about before with the Cryptarch is that 90% of the time we get like a legendary item or like a legendary engram. It turns out to be like a rare.
Yes.
And so many people have been joking about it like crazy. Like there's a
Watch you
meme.
get like an uncommon and get like an exotic or something.
Exactly. There's a meme in which you know the show How I Met Your Mother, right? You know
Yes.
Barney. He goes, "There's gonna be legend. Wait for it." It looks like there's a picture of him with his hand up, and it looks like he's holding a legendary engram. It says "Legend, wait for it," and then the bottom image is the Cryptarch, and the very bottom says "Rare, LOL."
And the lucky times that you do get a legendary item from a legendary engram, there's also a chance that it might not even be for your class. So if I'm a warlock, there's a chance that I would get a hunter's item,
That's
which
for the
has
class
that kind
engram,
of
not the
encouraged
weapons
you.
engram.
which has happened to me. Nope.
In fact, my first 5 legendary engrams were for 4 hunter items and 1 warlock.
Yeah, like I got a legendary engram for gauntlets, and they ended up being for a hunter.
It seems like they're trying to encourage teamwork in that, though.
Well, maybe, but what's upsetting about it is that the game didn't ship with trading features. So for the moment, it's just a big fuck you.
But it is one of those things where you could possibly save that stuff
Yes.
for your later class changes if you want to make another one, because you can make up to 3 classes. But also we've been hearing that they are going to be adding a new trading system in November, but we're not sure if it's rumor or if it's actual written in stone, like it's going to happen. But we did also hear that they're patching up the whole issue with the Cryptarch. So once if you get a legendary engram, it's
will be
officially
a legendary.
It is
Yes,
going to be a
it'll
legendary.
at least legendary or up. Whatever tier it is, it will either be that or up.
So what about your character?
My character is a warlock. I ran with the default Voidwalker class first, and I fully leveled that up, and now I'm maybe a third into the Sunsinger subclass, which I really like so far. yeah, I don't know. It's been really fun. I am not so lucky with engrams as Dustin, as you'll hear in a few
Asshole.
minutes.
You might want to also mention your levels too. Your character levels.
Well, Anthony, your level is...
I'm a level 27 hunter.
Yeah, currently I'm a level 25 warlock.
Skipping somebody who played Destiny.
He's doing homework.
Yeah, let him be.
I mean, chime in if you want. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a level 25 warlock, and I'm like a pinch away from 26. Woohoo! I only have like 2 legendary pieces of gear. They're mostly from the Queen's event that released a few days ago, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. And yeah, I don't know.
It was a few days ago. Felt like a week.
A few days ago.
So, what's your character or characters?
Well,
Pick your favorite one.
my favorite one thus far is my level 28
You
Titan.
named him?
Well,
Have you named him?
might as well call him Chuck Norris at this point because he's level 28, and I currently have. There was a couple of points where I would get my hands on a rare Ingram, and it would turn out to be like a legendary item. And so, because of that, I have a legendary helmet from that.
I see
Love
a
you
lot of
get-
soreness over here.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I even
Yes.
and then I even got a chest piece from that source. Actually, no, it was a rare primary weapon, which turned into a legendary primary weapon, in which I now have 2 legendary full autos. Primaries. I have 3 exotics weapons, which is a primary. There's also a special, and there's a heavy. Thank you. And also I have a exotic helmet and exotic chest piece, and everything else is all legendary. items.
So, on a scale of 1 to holy shit, where is your character?
Fuck you.
Pretty close to holy shit, but to them it's a big fuck you.
Okay.
Well, let me just chime in more with just how lucky this guy is with the RNG. He's gotten several Warlock legendaries, and the only legendaries I've
drooling over.
Yes, the only legendaries I've gotten were from the Queen's mission, which, if you do her bounties and then do her mission, you're guaranteed to
Queen
get a
that has
legendary.
issues.
Yes, you saw that.
I saw that.
The day that the Queen's mission came out, I caught a typo that Bungie made on the bounty description, where it said the Queen has issues a challenge, where it's supposed to say the Queen has issued a challenge to Guardians.
The Queen has issues.
I think she does.
Yeah,
have
so
She has issues.
So I captioned it and said, Bungie, you made a typo, or maybe you're really saying that the Queen does have issues.
But what I love about these missions,
Hey, Dustin thinks she's smoking hot.
Do you not know her freaking right hand man? That guy's a fucking lunatic. Excuse my language. Maybe if we are, then excuse it. If we're not, fuck that guy.
what I love about the missions is when it says easy, normal, hard, very hard. I love it how because in some games, when it says very hard, it's like kid child's play.
Yeah.
But when in Destiny, when it says very hard,
They mean it.
they mean it. It's fucking
Yes.
hard.
This
Might as well
game.
just go like easy, normal, hard, Dark Souls.
No, it'd be very hard. Dark Souls.
Yeah, this game scales its difficulty very, very well.
And we have a
Oh.
newcomer.
We have a new
Hey,
guest.
it's Charlie Sheen.
Shut it.
Winning.
Oh my goodness.
And our newcomer is?
Matt Kimura. How's it going,
He
guys?
almost hit me in the face.
It's good to be back in a podcast that I was actually invited to.
Oh, wow.
That was a shot at you. That was a shot at you, Pineapple. I'm sorry.
I found it easier if I mass message
pineapple.
via Facebook, so that can actually stay up there. So anytime there is a new podcast coming up, we can actually just mass message again.
I'm gonna go grab another chair.
Okay.
I'm a.
He can sit like right over there.
Did you bring
He's really
anything?
skinny.
Okay.
What do you mean? No, I came from dinner for my.
What do you mean
mom's
bring
birthday.
anything like food?
If you want to squeeze through there.
No.
Leftover.
No, I'm actually gonna see if I got anything from these scratchers.
Huh?
Oh, you bought
Late
some lotto
birthday.
tickets?
No, late birthday present.
Dude, if you win anything, can I have just a little slice of it?
You wish.
Just a small
My
one.
necklace.
But 99.9% of the time,
I don't want
it's a
to.
fault.
Yeah. Dude, how many people do you think buy these
It's a
things?
nickel.
What, the scratchers?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
A lot.
You probably
lot.
have better chances winning the lottery than you have chances
No.
winning exotic.
Fuck you. Just rub it in our face.
But there's actually a mission. There's also the weekly missions where it's level 28. Very hard, but there's one slight difference that makes from that to the other very hard difficulty missions.
Because you're using Pinnacle, I get 0.5%.
Which one was it? Or Nightfall or?
It's Nightfall's the harder one. The heroic weekly is the
No, the little attribute where one player died, where everyone dies and they go straight to orbit.
that's the night weekly.
There's a little because they have remember in Halo skulls?
Yeah, the skulls.
It's like that, but it's preset.
Yeah.
Yes, iron. But these are preset. And there's one where if all characters die, they get shot back to orbit no matter how far they went into the.
And you have to start all over again.
Yes.
From the very beginning.
No.
Well, you can't respawn. You can't respawn. You can't respawn yourself, but other players can revive you.
Basically, it eliminates checkpoints. If you die, you start over at the beginning.
That's fun though.
No. Yes, but when you're at the part where you almost killed the boss and somehow everyone dies in one hit,
still fun.
I mean, yes, we're gonna have a stick up our asses for a while.
I'm crazy, yeah, but
we're gonna have a stick up our asses for a while, but we'll suck it up and go back again.
At least when you start over, you still have all your stuff.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
However,
wait, no.
Like anything you get from there, and then you die, you come back.
But your ammo is a different story.
Yeah, ammo never.
I'm talking about. We're talking about Dark Souls here.
I'm going to talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
I'm going to Dream Drop Distance.
Never played.
Here's how it works. So the one thing that they incorporate is that you can play as both.
Scratcher number 1.
So, sir, you can play as both Sora and Riku, but you only have a said time limit to play each character. And if you're in the middle of like a giant swarm or a boss fight and your time runs out,
you're fucked.
I'm sorry, I could hear him go away at the scratch.
Damn it!
So what happens is, if you're in like the last
that, don't.
Because that's a little too dry.
Oh, come on!
I already had enough of that at dinner with family, so I don't remember that.
Whoa, bad memories. Bad memories.
No, she got funny at dinner.
Man, I fucking love your family. That's all I'm gonna say.
You should have seen what was said at the dinner table.
Wait, time out. You should have seen what was said.
Yeah, because it was very visual. We are very visual when we speak.
And then he started going at it.
So back to Destiny.
Okay.
Sorry.
Back to. I have a question. I have something to put on the table. How was your little birthday mission?
Terrible.
It did go very well.
No.
Let's just say
Did you get raped? Did you get raped?
Yes.
It's
badly.
Okay, Dustin.
Badly.
Now just point to the doll.
I got raped here.
Yes, just point to the doll and tell us where it touched you.
Back
Can we get
here.
that creeper over there as the doll?
It would have better if we had it on video
trying to
so
get
we could
away.
actually do it. No.
Bring me that ass.
Anyway.
Scary, don't do that.
But yeah, the raid was a lot harder than we thought. Like I ended up joining a different crew before joining in with the actual birthday crew I was planning to put together.
I didn't win anything.
In which
Keep going.
Okay.
I just want to put a bookmark right there.
Okay. In which
It's like
we managed to get through the entrance, but there was the first boss battle in which we tried working our asses off. Like it took us at least
win up to 20,000.
7 to 8 overall respawns like from the beginning checkpoint in that first boss room to get to the point of actually being able to fight the boss.
Okay.
In which we finally got to that point, and we could not get through it. Okay. So we gave up that day. Then I tried doing it with this crew. We couldn't do it.
Can you mention the level differences from when you first tried to do it?
When we first tried out, when I first tried, I was at 26, and everyone else is at like 24, 25. While the actual level to be able to pull it off recommended is 26.
Okay.
And so, but even then, like if you're like right at that point, it's still a pain in the ass. Okay. And it took us, it took the original crew that I was part of, not the birthday crew, but the other crew, took us 4 days. And Matt is staring right into Josh's eyes in like
Okay.
2 feet apart.
Can I say
But-
something?
Acceptably.
But let me just say, it took us
Okay.
4 days, and it took us nearly 10 hours to get done in total to do it for the first time. And then
Have
next
you-
week we tried it again, and it took us 2 hours.
Have you ever joined a crew and felt like you were that guy in every single fucking military movie that, oh, this is the new guy, by the way, and he's the guy that dies within the first, 10 minutes of the movie?
That was me.
Honestly, I'm not trying to be a show off or anything like that, but honestly, I felt more like the new guy
That doesn't say anything.
that just follows the orders and everything, but then halfway through the movie goes, let's kill these bitches, and just wipes everyone clean. It was to the point where all the guys are like, dude, Jesus Christ. And then, oh, sorry, go ahead.
When I first did the raid with Dustin, that's how I was. The new guy, first in, first out.
First in, first dead.
I would literally halfway into the fight, I would die. I get respawn 30 seconds in, I'm dead again. I'm like, really? But we pulled off on the first boss, and
I'm getting 1 or 2 out of every 5 words, man. And it is not a good conversation.
Shaggy Shin for Halloween.
Winning.
Anyway.
Anywho.
I pulled my own weight in the entire mission. We got halfway into the second or 3/4 in on the maze run,
And which he ended up having to bail.
which I had to bail, unfortunately, for school.
No way.
Damn.
Yeah, wait.
Right, school.
You're cool
what
enough
a
for school.
Freaking sore, man.
I know, right? Especially when your
Fucking
parents
go
are
to school.
Fucking go to school, kids.
Go to school, kids. My God.
But I pulled my own weight and it was successful. I got a rare sniper rifle out of it and a cloak.
Yeah, each time you
Legendary,
pass,
sorry, legendary.
yeah, each time you pass through a room, there's, including the entrance, there's 5 different rooms, and 2 of them are bosses. But each time you get through each room,
like a tarantula.
you get a new item, or you see a chest and you can loot the chest in there. You get certain materials or certain gear. Like the second time the first time we went through, I got some materials and ended up getting a legendary ship to fly in at the end. The second week, my group went in, and from beginning to end, I ended up getting more materials and legendary shoulders and legendary chest piece. Yeah, I'll give everyone a
Just get
minute.
it all out,
You know what I feel like right now? I feel like Pina was the parent, and I'm the babysitter. I have to deal with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That
Pina's
doesn't
gonna
sound
be
right.
I just have to scream out, "Who wants ice cream?" And everyone's like, "I want
If you want ice cream,
Shut
everyone-
the fuck up.
We need the sign.
Almost 10.
All right, everyone, dial it down. Dial it down.
We need the shut the fuck up sign.
He actually mentioned that. I didn't bring my sign, but you can makeshift one if you want one. I'm like,
Wow.
Okay.
I once played World of Warcraft, and I was a bit too curious for my level, which was, I think, 12. So I started walking around this place that looked like Florida, like the ass end of Florida, and I'm walking
The
around.
ass end of Florida.
I get to this one place, and ships are coming and going. I'm like,
I know.
I wonder where these ships go. I hop onto this ship, goes to this different island. It goes, congratulations, you discovered whatever. I'm like, I hop off. Everyone's looking at me. I'm checking everyone's levels, and everyone's in 60. Or 70. I'm like, where am I? I'm lost. I start walking along the coastline, thinking maybe I'll find a different ship that can get me home.
To where all the
And then
that's like
I aggro something that's 50 meters away. And it's coming at me. I'm like, no. running. I don't even know what level it is. It has a skull on it. And
yeah.
Skulls are basically you're fucked. Run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Destiny does that
Destiny
as
has
well.
question marks.
I'm running, and this thing's getting closer and closer and closer to me. It hits me with something that makes me slow down, and I'm like, I'm gonna die, and my body's gonna be here. I'm gonna be. But out of nowhere, one of my friends comes in on this giant panther-looking thing and just kills it in one hit, going, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Is it just go back over to where you came from, hop on the ship, it will take you back home. Stay there. Stay there.
Stay there until you're worthy.
The only downside to Destiny is how quickly you can level up. I mean, it only took almost the week to get up to almost level 20.
Yeah, but then once you
plus
get to
we
20,
were doing a bunch of I was
it's
doing
a
a few
bitch.
all-nighters,
Well,
but
still, it's wish they just implemented where it's a little bit harder.
you know,
Well, what makes it hard is that getting up to level 20 is easy, but there is what's called the light level, in which from rares to exotics gives certain levels of light for each piece of armor, and each item that is in those classes you can upgrade, and whether if it's the attack level for weapons or defense level for armor. But when it comes to armor, the higher rank of defense you make that particular piece of gear, the higher the light level, and thus the higher the light experience you gain.
All right.
so basically, like,
So that is the more difficult part because you need to collect the materials and all that.
Unless
stuff.
your name is Dustin.
Dustin Blaze. Yeah, so basically, once you hit level 20, instead of your XP going towards your level, you just have to get gear that has a new attribute called light, and each light level after 20 needs a certain amount of light for you to get, hit the next level. So, like, for example, if you're level 20 and you're trying to get to 21, you need gear that has a collective number of, like, let's say 50 light points, so that's why it starts to slow down. I do agree that the first 20 levels went by super quick, but after that,
Do you think they're
it's a
gonna like raise the level cap?
I don't think so. Because it's already, I'm seeing people having issues getting to level 30. I've not seen anything higher than what I have yet.
I want to say I do remember seeing someone who was level 31, like, 2 weeks
Dude,
into
what the fuck?
game. Yeah, I don't know.
Really?
I could be remembering it wrong, but there was definitely a 3 in there. So maybe at least 30.
Yeah, it's definitely 30, but I've heard that in order to get to that level, you need to have like all legendary gear from the Vault raid, and on top of that have an additional exotic piece in there.
Like weapon and
That's
gear.
stronger than what
No,
you
like
get
exotic
equipped.
gear.
Oh, just
like it
gear.
needs like one exotic gear, and the rest needs to be legendary gear from the Vault of Glass.
And it's stronger than what you already have equipped.
Yeah.
So next topic that I would want to adjust or address. Jesus,
Are you okay?
Brain. No, my brain. I get these things where I
Dyslexia.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, where he rearranges letters and some words.
Yeah, I do that. Or, like, you'll think of 2 words that you want to use in the sentence, you can't decide which one, so you'll combine them into one
Yes.
word. I do that all the time.
I do something like that, but I actually take the second word's first couple letters
Yeah.
and then combine it with the first
Yep,
word.
yep.
Topic.
But the topic is any fun stories or super cheap.
Wait, what kind of stories?
Based on
Just
not-
any
Any war-
stories.
Not
Any
scratcher
fails,
lottery
war
stories.
stories.
Oh, based off Destiny.
Based off Destiny.
Well, there's one. I wish I was able to save the recording, but my PS4 got knocked out, so I needed to rewipe. But what happened was, Abby and Gregory were playing along with me
Oh, this
on
one.
the moon, and I hop off of my Sparrow, which is a hovercraft style bicycle or motorbike,
Nice.
and so I hop off. But that split second later, Gregory in his bike hits me in the back, and I go flying off the cliff, land on the ground, and it's one of those borderlines where it's like you have this much time to get back, otherwise you die.
Oh,
But I went so far, and I went so fast. The moment I hit, I nearly died from the impact, and a second later I was dead. Like, and everyone else was like, "What the fuck happened to Dustin?" I'm like, "Dude, Gregory, you killed me."
No memory lapse of this whatsoever, dude.
Dude, I
when
was
you know what
there. I
happens.
saw it.
Because if you saw my name, you would see me go, "Free!"
We're talking about the
Off
one
into the
where you,
horizon.
you flew into the water and you just started driving. I
Huh?
think I think it was either you or Anthony. You guys were just on your hovercrafts. Next thing you know, you just fly into the lake and you just decided, like, you know what, why not? I'm gonna see what on the other side of that mountain is. You start driving through the lake. Next thing you know, you're disconnected.
That was me.
Wait the fuck up.
You know it wasn't me because I don't play Destiny.
Winning.
You got questions, man? Because
Is it like Halo and Star Wars
not
combined?
even close.
It's more like Halo meets Oblivion with a little hint of
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Okay, I'm glad I got that cleared up.
The only hint of Call of Duty you have is aiming down the sight. That's the only thing you have from Call of Duty.
Pretty much.
I don't play that either.
The Oblivion is during the story and in the tower where you can be in first person and third person. And Halo is basically what the scenario.
Also
Can you
special
also-
powers, special abilities.
Can she also throw Borderlands in there as well?
How so? Oh, the drops and stuff?
Well, I haven't played Borderlands yet,
I have.
but it's kind of RPG-esque,
same
isn't
thing.
it? Yeah, so...
Yeah,
It's-
because of like the number count, number counter, the damage counter, and whatnot.
Well, the damage counter and also all the items dropping and different levels of classes and stuff like that.
Yep.
But what about you?
Funny stories. I mean,
Funny or tragic?
Funny.
Like being hit
tragic.
by a cruiser.
definitely have more tragic than funny. Well, when the Queen's missions came out, I was playing with Anthony and Dustin, and I didn't realize that for you to get loot at the end of the mission, you need to do her bounty first, or something like that.
Yeah, each time you what bounties are is kind of Halo's challenges, in which you get this challenge, whether if it's for Vanguard, which is PvE, which is all the different planets or whatnot, or there's the Crucible, which is the multiplayer competitive, and then there's the Queen's stuff. And each time you complete these tasks, whether if it's like destroying a certain amount of enemies or yeah, exactly, and but the difference between the Crucible and Vanguard, which are the standard bounties, to the Queen's, is that not only do you get the experience and reputation points towards the Queen, but also you get a mission in which you do these missions and you get a legendary item in the end.
Yes, so I did not do the prerequisites to grant myself the legendary item at the end of the mission, but I played with them anyways, not knowing this. And then we get to the final boss, we took our time taking it down, and then we finally did, but Dustin unfortunately died right at the end. And so he died right when the counter for us to go back to the orbit, because the mission was officially done, he died when that counter started going down. So I said, "Oh no, Dustin, we can't revive you. I hope you still get a legendary out of this." And he goes, "I better fucking get an item." So the timer goes down. We go to the reward screen where it lists everybody, the kills, the stats, and what rewards you get. It comes down the list one by one, and I think I'm at the bottom. So it goes Dustin, Anthony, and then me. They all get a legendary item, and it stops at me, and I get nothing. And they both just crack up, and I'm screaming no repeatedly into the mic because I felt so bad. I thought Dustin wasn't gonna get anything.
This happened twice.
Yeah, and then
I got another one where remember when there was that one ship I wanted to get my hands on?
Oh yeah.
Because there's a particular vendor. Her name is Shipwright, in which she is a collector of all these ships that you can purchase from her. And certain vendors refresh their stock every 24 hours, and
it's not what you think it is.
but 30 minutes before the next refresh, I look at the ships, and there was one that that I liked because it matched the style of my character at the time, which was kind of like this gold and blue kind of combination of colors. So when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, I want to get this!" Like, "Oh shit, it's only like half an hour left. I do have this much glimmer, which is the currency in there. I have like this much. I only need this much left. Let's do these missions so I can get enough glimmer to do this." So Abby was there, and then I also had another buddy of ours with us. And so we do like 2 missions.
Was this when I was out for the night?
Yeah.
I think you're out for the night. And we do the missions. I get the money. We get to the tower, and the other guy was like, I think it's refreshed. What? It's been past 5 minutes from the refresh point, and I just screamed, "No!" as I'm running to the hangar, trying to get to the ship. No, God damn it, no!
That's how I was with Zertan.
And I get to the ship right.
Happened to me too.
It was gone, and I go, "God damn it!" Right when I have the money. But just the whole no the whole time there.
Do you have any stories? I've got one more, but
Other than the exotic engram,
I got one.
we were playing Crucible PvP,
Oh, no.
and after about 3 matches, I would get
I didn't turn it on.
Someone turn it off.
I would get like Ascendant Shard. I got a Strange Coin on the third match. I think it was 2 or 3 people that got something. I was one of them, and I got an exotic class engram. And I start freaking like girling out, like, oh my god, I got exotic, oh my god.
I take offense to that comment.
Well, compare with my shit luck with the RNG system, I had every reason to girl about it. So I'm like, okay, we're immediately going to the tower, to the Cryptarch, and this is when I'm at level 9. At this point, I should be starting seeing rares and legendaries.
Why aren't you at level 10?
I'm at level 11. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, okay, here it goes. Click, rare. I got a stupid cloak.
I would have saved it.
No.
You can't save them?
No, you can,
but
Some of them are lower level than standard. Like, I still get, I've had plenty of times where I get a legendary engram, and it turns out to be a rare, like, level 16 piece of armor, while I'm beyond level 20.
yeah,
So
that
this-
plus the patch that Dustin mentioned earlier, where they're going to fix the Cryptarch and, you know, actually properly award us when we bring in legendary or higher engrams. Even if we save our engrams from the past, once that patch is live, any engram that we got prior just turns and downgrades to a rare anyway. So
So, back to the story. As soon as I got it, I got a rare cloak that was level 15, and I'm just silent for the next, like, 4 minutes. They're like, Anthony? Anthony?
Mother, you... Oh my god! How dare you!
And they're like, Anthony? I'm like, and all they hear is heavily breathing. I'm like, I got a fucking cloak.
I'm sorry.
And they
oh my god.
and they just started dying. This was
Sorry.
our little fire team that we had that Dustin was not a part of at the time because asshole was at work.
Assholes gotta work.
And
do.
Scumbag.
I'm crying. These guys are laughing their asses off.
Actually crying.
I was crying. My
Tears.
first exotic engram, I get a fucking cloak.
Do you remember when I asked you to play World of Tanks?
Yeah.
About 5 minutes before that, I was driving this very, very fast Tier 3, and I'm coming over this hill. I'm thinking, like, we're going to go over the hill, through the little river that's right there, back up the hill, and then basically on this perch where I can snipe.
Right.
Be like a spotter. And I'm hauling ass. And I'm going, okay, let's just go through this river. I'm so fast that I come off of that ridge, and I'm about maybe 25 feet in the air, and just belly flop into the water and die.
Really?
Explode.
Boom.
And I'm sitting there, and there's 2 dudes behind me. They kind of stop, and I feel like they're staring at me. Just going, stupid fucking shit.
Fucking screw.
Like, seriously, dude.
But anyway.
Seriously.
Seriously.
But I think the best stories would have to be part of the competitive Crucible matches,
Oh man, those were
in which my very first run in what's called the Rumble, which is the free for all shoot 'em up, which is up to 6 players, but for a fire team of your friends, you can only have up to 3 at a time. With you, or 2 other players with you at a time. But my first time was with these two other buddies that I met through the game, and I pulled out my first rare shotgun, which I saved and built up, in which each weapon from uncommon and up has a special ability towards it. And the higher the level, the higher the class of gun it is, the more attributes it has. In which this one was a rare, and its primary attribute was when you aim down the sights, it extends its range. And so,
yeah, that's cheating.
so
there more?
think of it this way: like, if I was hip shooting, like, I could take down a guy with one
Shooting
shot.
from the hip.
Shooting from the hip. Hip shotting. Hip shoot. Hip
Comic
shot.
sorcery.
Anyways.
Pelvic sorcery.
Pelvic
That doesn't
sorcery.
work when you're laying
But-
down on the ground.
Like, if it's like, say, like 5 to 6 feet in front of me, you're dead. But if I aim down the sights, I could get you like double that distance, so maybe like good 10 feet or so. So I would rush up, do like this crazy slide, which you do when you're sprinting and you press the crouch button, you do the slide. So I would slide, aim down the sights, and fire my round at the enemy and just get a one-shot kill.
Get it out of your system. Come on.
I'm sorry, that was perfect way you were describing that scene right there. I pushed the crouch button.
Push the crouch button.
Fire my round.
Matt, you got any questions for us?
Metallica!
Go in there interested in this game.
There's so many things I could say. I'm just not going to.
But anyway, so I brought this shotgun into the match, and I did have my other weapons, of course, but I stuck with my shotgun actually the whole entire game, and the other guys were just like, "What the fuck?" Because I was in so much of a lead. I had by the time I won, the next person closest to me was 15 kills behind.
Okay. Another question. So far, what is your favorite voice actor in the game? Ghost.
Either the Ghost, which is really good, or Bill Nye, not the science guy, the British Bill Nye, who's the speaker. But then also, when I found this out, I was so goddamn happy because in the Vanguard, the PvE group, there are 3 different characters, one for each class. There is the Warlock, there's the Hunter, and there's the Titan characters. But for the Hunter, the voice for the Hunter is Nathan Fillion.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
So when I found that out, I was like, I love that character even more. And every time you get and when you're on a patrol on any of these plants, you can do these random missions to help with these certain characters. Which would be like collecting stuff or scouting out certain locations, stuff like that. And each time you initiate a mission, there's sort of a little voice of that character saying "Oh, we need your help, this and that." And occasionally I would get the one of Nathan Fillion's character and be like,
I think if I ever...
There's actually a little thing he does after when you're done searching through whatever items he has, whether it's the armor or the emblem, and right when you go, he's like, "Hey, take me with you."
Oh, I remember that.
I was like, "Oh God,
Take me with you.
Nathan Fillion is awesome.
He is awesome.
I think it'd probably, if I played, I'd probably be a toss-up between Bill Nye, Peter Dinklage, and Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
But in order, probably be Bill Nye, Nathan Fillion, Peter Dinklage.
I got a question for you, Josh.
Sure.
If you ever get a PS4 or Xbox One with Destiny,
If.
big
What
if,
was that?
shut up.
Quite a big if.
What class would you be? And what race?
Can you describe the classes?
Titan, Hunter, or Warlock?
Not
Titan.
the names, genius. I mean,
Titan
I
is
mean,
heavier
the name
armor.
speaks for itself, though.
Titan
Yeah.
is more of the tanker, up close and personal. Hunter is more lightly armored, a bit more swift and much better to use with a sniper rifle. And the Warlock is
Your mage.
Is basically a mage.
yeah, but what can they do? Mage.
Well, one of its subclasses
balls.
is kind of like a Phoenix sort of deal, in which you have this your special supercharge ability is it increases your attack power and your movement speed. I think, if I remember right.
I think it would go with
But,
No, that's,
but the best part about it is that there's a sub option that you can use with that ability, and which drove me nuts every time I went up against these particular warlocks in Crucible, because it's reincarnation.
so they can.
In which,
come
if
back.
you do the special ability when you die, you come back to life right there and then.
That's
So
awesome.
I would kill a warlock, not knowing it's Phoenix type, and I would turn around and walk off. All of a sudden, I get shot from behind, and I'll turn around. It's the guy coming back from the dead with these Phoenix wings and shit. And it's like, God damn it! He's these extra shields and whatnot. It's just, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I think I'd be the hunter. I'm more of a sniper kind of guy.
You'll be
That's
able to
because of
hear
your
him.
fetish for bows and arrows.
I thought he was going to go in a different direction.
I thought so too. Just when he said better, so I'm gonna be like, oh shit.
I'm like, oh shit, here it comes.
Was that offensive?
No, I just thought.
Because you sort of, after I said that, you had that face of how you're just like, you buried yourself into your phone. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. I insulted the man that is Josh.
No, you're right. I do have kind of a thing for.
Oh my god, you admitted I'm right.
But
Holy shit!
I just got a text message.
I must relish this moment. Shh.
I'm winning.
Is it from Pina asking
No,
how
it's from my
everything's going?
sister.
Oh, okay.
She texted me saying, "What's the address again?" And I put "what" with 2 question marks. I swear to God, if she is like looking for our house,
She probably is.
if she is, and she comes up to that, I'm gonna lose my shit for
I
like
know you
30
are.
minutes.
You're probably gonna kick everybody out. If she
No,
shows
I'm
up.
just gonna cry.
Cried like a little baby.
Hey, he has full right to cry.
Baby black bitch.
I'm not saying.
I haven't
I'm not
seen her
saying
in a
it's
long
bad.
time.
Yes, robot.
Huh?
Anyway,
Anywho.
let's see. Other opinions?
Would you be a human
Opinions
hunter?
about. Would you rather be
Destiny.
I don't have an opinion because I cannot form one because I do not play it. Nor do I seen any playthrough or seen anyone play it.
Well, you
Therefore,
should
I
have done
cannot
this when you know.
create any opinion.
You should have done this the day before the podcast. So you had
Do
that-
what? Excuse me, I'm working.
Oh.
Remember when they did the.
Phone.
What? Phone? While I'm at work? Really?
Really?
Remember when?
There's so much time on your hands.
Remember when Bungie did the?
Not enough time to watch playthroughs?
Yeah, but enough time to
Just
draw
like,
freaking Space Dandy and every other Akami Got Killed
Hey,
character.
hey. Those are different occasions.
Gregory.
Right, anyways.
Any opinions, Gregory?
I don't know if I missed the talk about how there's a bunch of chests and like treasure chests just like sitting around the entire maps of the world.
Oh, that
But
too.
it is hysterical because Abby and I were on Venus just getting through patrol missions.
What?
Penis.
Venus.
No, I know Venus, but it's based off of our own solar system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to an extent.
The planets that the story is through and you can patrol on is Earth, or the Cosmodrome, as we said. There is also the Moon, Venus, and Mars. Those are all the locations. But there's
And
also
if you count
Mercury,
the
but
Rift
that's
as
only
a asteroid field.
yeah. There's also Mercury, but that is only for competitive multiplayer at the moment.
From what I read, there's on the
You read?
shut up.
On the next-
Holy shit, what a revelation!
Ow! But
Sorry.
we're talking about the next
Sorry,
expansion,
Neil.
right?
With the seasonal pass, the new maps we're getting is Jupiter, Saturn, and
That's gonna be shit.
Really?
yeah.
Do you think
Anyone who
So the expansions are new planets.
Yeah.
anyone who understands what Jupiter is, that's gonna be shit.
Well, that's the same about Venus.
You'll be walking
'Cause it's
around
a
on a
big
planet
ball
not
of
being able to see
gas.
your own hand in front of your face.
I mean, granted,
Or
they're
it
gonna
might
break.
be like a space
they're gonna
station.
break the rule of real life and add, solid ground into Jupiter, as they did with Venus.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, we're getting 3 new planets to continue the story because I know the story's not done yet.
Nope.
No, it's early. The
I don't know about Pluto. All I heard was the
Yeah, I was
3 other
about to say.
planets. And that was
Yeah, it's like Pluto. It's like for Pluto, you just drive like in a straight line, and like all your friends are behind you. You just drive for like half an hour, then all of a sudden you see your friends right in front of you. Like, what? You were behind
Yes,
me.
over there.
we
didn't move.
I went across the planet within half an hour.
Pluto probably didn't make the cut. It'd be funny if
How's
Pluto was
Pluto count?
originally
Wait,
planned.
Pluto's a planet? Whoa!
Well, we are
great revelation.
well, we do have
No way.
we do have the moon as a
Unless
location,
funny.
so
I know.
it is
Yeah.
possible to explore Pluto since
And
it's-
fictional.
It is.
planet.
What's
the
a
reef.
fictional?
The reef, isn't
Do you
it?
think they're gonna cut out
Well,
planets?
if you kept, the reef
Oh,
is
there's-
like sort of the asteroid belt.
Oh, okay.
Well, the reef is a particular location in the story in which, during the collapse of the Golden Age, in which is our current modern times, all these ships tried to flee the planets and try to go as far away as possible, and ended up getting wrecked out there. And the only things that remained is this race called the Awoken, which is a more advanced looking humans, like very bluish skin with like these waves of light coming through their skin. Very, very alienish looking versions of humans.
Yeah.
Gabby,
But
What he means by that
Abby-
is that my warlock is an awoken.
Abby's warlock is an awoken
Dick.
woken race.
Hey, he's actually complimenting them, so thank you.
Huh?
Dustin was saying cool things about the woken, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
They very much still look human-like. It's just, like he said, it's the skin
And plus, they
color.
have bright eyes.
Yes, they have, like, piercing bright eyes.
And actually, the queen that we were mentioning before and her brother are both awoken,
Yes.
and she's
Smoking
pretty smoking hot for an awoken.
And I say
I
this
would
before,
totally date that.
It's
her
them dreads.
brother is a fucking psychopath.
Indeed, he is.
He's a total
psychopath.
dick.
No, he's a sarcastic prick.
He is a dick, and at the same time, the queen, like his sister, does kind of have that like. What's the word I'm looking for?
Superiority.
Yeah, she has that like very superior attitude towards her.
So
Yeah,
she's a
even in
bitch.
the...
Honestly,
not really
as
the
I see it from her,
He's the bitch, but she's more.
like, sassy, I guess.
Like a beauty queen?
She's a bit of sassiness,
yeah,
like
sasses.
oh well, let's just gift it to them. Just like that
sympathy for
tone
the
of like
traveler.
that royalty tone
my
of voice,
Like, she
and yet
says
her
that?
and yet her posture is like very like that very seductive kind of posture, and yet she has that
Don't even.
that
Don't even.
that
I'll
that
even
kind of
get it-
pittiness kind
I
of
could go to
look
therapy
in her
for years.
sound of her voice,
and still not get that.
and like chin always up, like look like as though she's looking down on the person. Is
I'm
like
sorry, One Piece just came to mind.
yeah okay,
One Piece
Well,
confirmed?
but she is pretty smoking. Yeah,
Alright.
she's pretty smoking.
Smoking.
Swing.
Smoking a pancake.
Smoking a pancake.
Sure.
Swing. Swing.
Any other questions?
I wouldn't mind doing some pelvic sorcery.
Gregor, you played the game. What do you think of the game?
It's utter shit and nobody should buy it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey.
Someone nutshot right
Begin the hate.
Boom! The haters have arrived.
Meat shot.
Well, I don't have like a lot of time on my hands to play it because of a certain somebody.
Oh.
Why the fuck are you looking at me?
Gee, I don't
Oh,
know.
when I'm at work, Greg, you have all the time to play, but your ass is stuck on the computer playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
And
I have a question.
Another funny moment though, I must
you only
say,
give me like an hour to play.
is the fact that when we first started, the power at my house was out, so I couldn't play Destiny.
Oh god.
And so the very next day, I ended up going to Anthony's place, and Anthony and Abby were already at like level 12, level 14, and I was just
bro, we were like
starting
at
off.
9.
I made like basically these guys were higher ranked than I was, and I was like down to the bottom.
Here's a statement though. That being said, how is it now you're higher than them?
Sucks.
Because he has more time.
Because that Friday the power came back on, and during the weekend I ended up doing a couple of all-nighters and going through a lot of the story missions, which gives you extra XP, and so I was able to do that without them.
RNG.
Yes,
Enough said,
I
dude.
know.
That too.
I don't care about his actual number. I just want as good luck as he does with the RNG.
How cool would it be if you could kill someone and take their armor?
That would make the game broken.
No,
And that'd be a bloodbath.
No. But can you imagine a game that does
Friendships
that?
will be ruined.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
close.
Like your character
Well, EVE Online
dies.
is sort of
What,
like
in
that,
Minecraft where you
just-
drop whatever's in your inventory?
Yes. Basically, imagine you have a character, it's level 10, but you have a character, it's level 10, you get killed, you have to wait for a buffer period, so that you have to wait, like, let's say 6 hours until you can play that character again.
That would suck once you're in the light levels
actually-
because when
No, I'm not
you...
talking about Destiny, I'm just talking about a game.
Yeah, but you're talking about like if it were in Destiny.
Actually,
though.
in Destiny,
talking about 8.
when you die, when you come back alive, your ammo actually drops a certain percentage.
Depending
So
on how
if
much
you have, like,
fucked
say,
up.
100 rounds of assault rifle, you die, you'll have like 45 rounds left to use. And that's for all 3 weapons.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what you're implying.
How many different kind of weapons are there?
There's assault, the auto rifle, scout rifle, pistol, fusion rifle, sniper rifle, shotgun, heavy machine gun, rocket launcher.
In which each one is in their own group. There's the primary, there's the special, and then there's the heavy. In which the heavies are mainly the heavy machine gun, and the rocket launchers. While the special is fusion rifle, shotgun, and sniper rifle. And everything above that is usual, which is the different classes of assault rifle, whether if it's the full auto, scout, or pulse rifles, also the hand cannon. And there is another. Right. Or is it
and what's
just those?
Beautiful about the special and heavy weapons is they have attack attributes, which are special abilities where it's like every hit would cause burn damage or arc damage or void damage.
Yeah, in which it mainly happens with special and heavy weapons, because like say you go up against an enemy that has a shield and the shield looks orange.
And
that means it's
PvE.
PvE, in which that particular shield is relying on solar. And so if you use a solar type weapon, then you're actually dealing more damage towards it.
The color of their shield is the weakness.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So if you don't use the correct damage attribute towards their shield,
it will take longer to deplete.
Well, actually, in some cases, depending on what mission you're playing exactly, or the modifier, your shots are just going to be immune to it. So he's got like 2 bars. One is for the shield and one's just for his health. You need to take down that shield health bar first, and then you can switch to like just any weapon type.
Such as wizards are solar shield, so you got to hit them with the solar attribute weapons. The knights for hive are arc energy, so you gotta deplete them with arc damage weapons, and then minotaurs, which are big, giant, fucking robots.
Things are fucking annoying.
They
Terminators.
Those are
the Terminators. They are void shields, so you gotta hit them with void weapons. Sometimes each thing is different, so you have to have a good set amount of arc or special type attributes,
or at least have each person in your group have a certain type of weaponry. So, like say I specialize in solar, in weaponry. Anthony sometimes specializes in arc and void. And Abby, I think you.
I roll a mix of void and solar mostly. Yeah.
Once again, it sounds like they're trying to encourage teamwork.
Well, yeah.
It's always encouraged teamwork.
It's always
the only thing I didn't like about it is it does not support split screen.
Oh, way to steal my conversation there, buddy.
And it kind of pissed off a lot of first-person shooters that wanted to do co-op.
And the interesting thing about when it comes to the exotic class of weapons and gear is that the thing about exotic weapons and gear is that it gives like an extra special ability towards what you could possibly use and whatnot. And so some of these things could be so overpowering that it's to the point now that you can only have one exotic piece of gear to wear at a time. You can only hold one exotic weapon together at a time. So it's like one exotic gear, one exotic weapon. And so, for instance, for a while I had a exotic rocket launcher called the Galahorn, which I must say is a beautiful rocket launcher, because its its unique ability is called Wolfpack rounds, in which you fire around. There's the main warhead, which is the blast radius and whatnot, but then it fires off additional projectiles outside of that, in which could home in on targets that was beyond the blast radius. So, like, say there's at least an army of like good 10 to 20 troops coming in a big group.
For example,
Fallen. So I fire one round right into the middle of that group. I would get the main core of the group with the main blast, but then the extra little projectiles would finish off the rest. So it is such an overpowered gun.
And it comes on top of the big bosses.
And then on top of that, I did also recently get a primary exotic, which happens to be a shotgun, in which normally shotguns are for special, but for this one in particular, they made it. It's the only shotgun that you can have as a primary, in which is an exotic.
Which again, fuck you.
And what makes this one interesting is its unique ability is when you aim down the sights, it becomes that of
accurate.
It becomes more accurate and much longer range. So it turns into more of a scout rifle type of firepower.
Okay.
So that's why that's why it's right now a primary type weapon.
I would say its effective range would be about 50 yards from where you are.
Yeah, well, right now, until I get that upgrade taken care of,
It's just like it's a shotgun.
Yeah, it's pretty much a shotgun, so I can only get like a good 5 to 10 feet up front of me. But the thing though is that I have my actual specialty shotgun, in which does actually hit a bit further. So I kind of have a mix of 2 shotguns at once now. So instead of having 1 shotgun with 5 rounds, I now have 2 shotguns each with 5 rounds. So now I have 10 rounds of shotgun altogether.
So in Destiny, overall, what you've been hearing, what are you looking forward to in the game?
Oh, like for future stuff?
Like for future stuff, yeah.
Well, can't wait to see what the expansions are going to be like, because we've been told of new levels, new weapons, and can't wait to see of what more exotic gear or legendary gear I can get my hands on.
Fuck you.
Maybe later.
You go.
No, pretty much just that, and hopefully the rumored implementation of trading.
That too.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I don't know. That being said, I mean, has it already said that there's only going to be 3 types of enemies, or
That's why I'm hoping the expansion pack actually.
Yeah, because right
shows us new
now there's
enemies.
only 3 types of enemies, which is Fallen, Vex, and the
You're
Hive.
figuring the Cabal.
Oh yes,
Oh,
Cabal.
for Cabal.
Yeah, so I want to know what other new enemy types there are going to be in the expansion.
And if there's going to be any more subclasses.
What I heard, is
yeah.
the new enemies are going to be much scarier and harder to kill than the other enemies that we fought.
Are they as scary as Dark Souls?
Who gives a fuck about Dark Souls?
A lot of people. Have you not been on the internet, dude? Come on.
Big fucking deal, Dark Souls 2.
Ooh, the internet.
We're putting this on the internet.
I know.
I've seen some things and some stuff.
Matt, you fall back, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
But
I've seen words.
But actually, off subject, but we were talking about before when you were talking about your story with in World of Warcraft when you go to that location in the high. When we first started, we were around that particular level, around level 8, level 9 or so. We're in the Cosmodrome and we're exploring around, and we go into these caves and whatnot, and
Holy shit.
But during the beta,
Deja vu.
I actually played during the beta, so I knew exactly what was down there. And I think it was Anthony. I was like,
"Oh,
do
look,
not go down that
stairwell."
way. He's like, why? And he keeps going, and sure enough, I hear, holy shit! He dies. Because there was a small group of level 18.
It wasn't 18.
They are level 18.
No, they were question marked.
But when you get to a high enough, once you get to that level, you actually see their level, in which I saw was 18.
Reference,
If they're question mark, you don't know what their level is.
Yeah.
And it's so bad that if you try to shoot at them, they're completely immune, and they
And it
one
was
shot,
like
one
this.
kill you.
It was during the Skywatch mission where we had to get those records. After we got done with the second navigation point, I see a stairwell down. I'm like, I wonder what it is. And Dustin's like, Anthony, where are you going? I'm like, this is a stairwell. Halfway in, right before I make the left to where the monsters are, he's like, don't go there. I'm like, why? I turned my head towards my computer, and I look back. There's a giant, big motherfucking hive. The knight and he just pop shoots me right in the freaking face. And I'm like, ah, done.
I'm like, I told you.
Stairwell got me
Idiot.
too.
Yep.
There's only one thing I wanted Destiny to have, and it's never going to see the light of day ever
screen.
again. Yes. Because that's just complete, utter bullshit.
What if in all games they made split screen obsolete?
That'd be really
That's what was
bad
gonna
for a
end up
lot of
happening.
people.
Especially for you,
I
since
think
you
a
don't
lot
have a PS4 of your own,
True, and
which you should get your own at some point.
I think a lot of
That's a
people
lot
are
of
going
finance,
to
dude.
fall back on the classics if that actually happens and is taken into effect. I would start playing Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64. Just to have
Well, we
fun
don't need
with
to
it.
go that far back. Anthony and I can go back to fucking Halo.
Oh, I downloaded Reach, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's on the free to gold.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah, it's on free to gold.
you know?
Man,
I
I haven't
checked that
played
thing,
that
every-
game in
twice
almost
a month
over a
now.
year.
I have the games. I never knew it was gonna be on that in that category.
So it's an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm running out of material.
Well, what other good stories do we have?
Oh, well,
You said you had one more.
yeah, he wanted to talk about it, but he's currently distracted.
What's up?
You wanted to talk about Loot Heaven that we found on Venus.
Oh my god, that's like
heaven.
what, like 15 minutes back, half an
Yeah,
hour?
I got another story after this.
So, Abby was online while I just logged in, so I was like, let me just add her to my fire team. Is that what it's
Fire
called?
team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking-
So I was just on Venus.
Away
Just,
team.
Fire Team Crimson.
You're gonna die.
I am. So I was just on Venus and just taking
Yes.
care of patrol missions, right? I didn't even notice that she got onto Venus, and part of my fire team was like, "Where'd she come from?" Okay. So next thing we know, we're just going around looking for missions, just taking care of all that stuff, and then we find like one chest. It's like, "Oh, cool, loot!" And apparently, what happens is if one person opens the chest, I think like it's different for everybody who gets it.
No,
People in
Yeah.
the general vicinity have a time limit to go and get the loot as well. And then everybody gets different loot when they open it.
Like, if we open a chest in the moon, I would end up getting 2 helium filaments. He would end up getting 1. It would
Or
be
vice versa, or the same.
Yeah.
The coolest thing I've ever gotten from a treasure chest was a schematics for a ship. And I was pretty happy about that because I didn't know that was a thing.
So why did you call it Loot Heaven?
Because what happened was, in the process of doing all these patrol missions, we found treasure chests just lying everywhere in the whole map. And usually, it's a big deal when you find a treasure chest lying anywhere. Because like we're just not even noticing. We're going walking around. It's like, oh look, a treasure chest.
It was like every 5 minutes
Yeah,
they would
like-
find a treasure chest.
Exactly.
Piece of candy.
And
Yeah,
there
like
was
we would just be like fighting off some enemies, and then we'd see out of the corner of our peripheral, like, is that a crate?
There was
God, it
one
is.
where it's like there's like this rock formation just sitting in the random
Yeah.
part of the mountain, and the treasure chest was literally sitting on the side of it, not just sitting on top, or on the bottom, just literally on the side of the mountain.
Like imagine a pillar, and it's on the side of the pillar, so it's parallel to the ground.
So it's
So it wasn't sitting on top. No, I don't think it was
it
glitched.
wasn't glitch. It was just like
They made it like that because I remember in Venus, there's a
This
place
was the
where you
treasure
can
chest.
During the raid.
and
during
this
the
was the
raid,
pillar, just like sitting like that.
So we had to
Sideways.
glide.
stuck in it.
Yeah.
It's just like there.
It was
It's literally
vertical.
plopped onto the side.
Like someone
the
took
base
duct
of
tape
the,
and
yeah.
just stuck it right there.
Like the base of the crate was stuck onto the side, so it was sideways in a sense. So we had to like glide to the top of the pillar and stand on top of the side of the crate just so we can crouch, look down, and open it. And we dubbed that crate Spider Crate.
Spider Crate.
Spider Loot.
Spider crate. Spider
exactly.
crate. Hiding any loot. I don't know.
Oh, you're onto something though. No, but what happened was,
I mean the volume, not you talking, just the volume.
so what happened was, she's just like still trying to fathom that loot is just sitting there, and she sees me right on top of the mountain. Like, how did you get up there?
I don't know.
Magic the Gathering. So I was like, how? And she's still questioning how I got there. Then she figured it out, and she's like, okay, we got this. And just from that point on, we just continuously found like a bunch of random chests all over the place.
I have one story. This was This is part where I wasn't on. I was at work and I get this random Facebook message from Abby and Dustin. I look.
Oh no!
I have this. It was like at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday.
You two look like giddy little children.
We
I'm
are
getting-
two giddy little children.
I looked at it, and actually, I have the picture.
Yes.
You have a
But
Can we
picture.
put that in post?
She
I can
she
try,
posted
yeah.
a picture.
It's on the Facebook chat, so
All it is Dustin and Abby, and in that same loot cave for the farming, all I see is nothing but ammo drops and 20 engrams of each freaking color.
yeah. And to make it worse, unfortunately I didn't get it in the picture, but a few moments before I took the picture, there was a legendary engram that dropped, but I happened to walk over it without noticing that it had dropped, and then I took the picture, so.
Yeah, because what happened was in the loot cave that we were talking about, like way before, where the certain amount of enemies pops out of the cave, and you have to wipe them out, and the loot pops out of that. Well, every so often there will be like this battle zone mode that happens where the enemies at the time will disappear, but then a whole shit ton more from different locations will pop out. And so there was a doorway.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
There was a doorway that was right next to us from where we were shooting at. From where we were shooting at, and just horde after horde after horde of enemies were just pouring out. And so,
What are you guys doing?
and so all of us started mowing down all these enemies, like to the point where we were running out of ammo
let me get.
and having to rush in while there's enemies still all around us, and then rush back out and kill even more.
Can I just say something? I love the fact that there's a notification on your screen that says special ammo full.
So I get that message during work, and I look at it, I'm just like this.
I think the message I sent with it was something along the lines of,
Anthony, you missed out.
I said, "Oh my God, Anthony, you just missed out. Dustin and I were farming at that loot crate cave, and then
Yeah, I have it.
oh, you got it. Okay.
Anthony, you missed out. We were farming at the spot on the Earth and then some sort of mini public event spawned right behind us. And it was a solid 5 minutes of huge hordes of enemies spawning at an entrance nearby. I got a legendary too.
And he sends a broken heart.
Crying.
And then I sent out a Zerg. I was so salty that entire day, and all.
Like,
And they
fucking
went-
so
Wait, he finally came on.
Savage,
No,
just
this
just fuck off.
Before I got on.
He finally joined later that night and said, "Fuck you."
No, because they were having
we were
a
like,
pool.
"Hey, how's it going?"
Like
Fuck
the
you.
second Anthony gets on,
I just remembered something. No, you can go. I'll
the
tell you
second
later.
they were having a little bet. Like the second Anthony gets on, we start talking. The first thing that's gonna come out of his mouth is "fuck you," and they called it.
Yep.
Did you remember that one time I told you about a year ago? There was that kind of model that walked into my work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I had to basically help her
story 5 times.
for 2 hours. I had to help her, and
you get those pictures?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It went from very casual, kind of funny, dorky pictures of her holding up a fake heart
Yeah.
head kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Then you
to
sent
when
me that picture,
to when
yeah.
it got to the fact that it was
Like all model.
More
model and then more adult, then it went straight to plus 18 kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Guess who walked into work about a week ago?
That same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what she wanted?
What?
More.
More.
More. Just more.
More.
Nah.
No.
But it only took about half hour to an hour this time. Anyway. Anyway. Sorry. But afterwards she walks up to Nelson and basically goes, "That guy is amazing. He is so helpful." I'm just sitting there going,
Oh,
God."
dear Jesus.
But yeah, it was funny. You're just shaking your head. What's in your mind right now?
Every time. Every fucking time.
Every time something like that happens, it's me.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Whether it's women on the internet, whether it's in real life, or have a random hangout.
You always get called. You always get called. You always have to
Let's
leave.
get me on a different topic. We'll get that for a different podcast.
But anytime we have a party and it's about to get good, he gets a phone call, and it's usually his mom saying, "Come home."
This was already on a previous podcast. By the
Yeah,
way.
but I think it might have been one of the archived ones.
Nope.
I'm gonna try
Nope, It's actually in the episode 3.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
But yeah, so
Guys,
that
really
whole
funny.
story was hilarious. There was another time for me where I was running solo, patrolling
been
on
like that for since the
okay.
beginning.
I was patrolling on the moon, and there was no one else around, and all of a sudden a public event happened, in which a public event is this huge event in which all these players can come in, and you have to take down a certain mini boss or complete a certain task and stuff like that. But what happened was the public event happened. I'm like, oh shit! So I rushed to the spot, and down comes a fallen crawling tank, which is a
In the game, it's called
a
Walker.
six-legged spider-looking tank that has a giant turret on the top of it, very intimidating looking. And I start the fight, and I end up being the only one there. And at the same time, I had a certain bounty where I needed to get a certain amount of XP without dying. And normally, when you're solo up against a tank like that, you're bound to die at least once or twice. And so it was to the point where it was like, so I was just shooting all these bad guys, trying to take out this tank left and right, and I had a couple of close calls, but I'm like, no, don't take, like trying to get behind cover. And after I think it was a good 5 to 10 minutes of just epic craziness, I finally took down the fallen tank by myself, and I went, I am God, out loud. You may bow now. I was like, whew.
Call me Lord now.
Be gone from me. But
Anyway.
and each time you each day you do like your first public event of the day, you get extra rewards. Well, if it's like certain materials or certain items. So I got to the postmaster there, and I got a new item. And actually, it wasn't that; it was new.
No, I'm just thinking Peanut predicted it.
What?
That about 75% of this podcast will be you talking.
Sorry.
We're an hour and 16 minutes. I think we'd call it quits right about now, though.
Any last questions?
Questions, statements, answers?
Last?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10, I guess.
That happens is the split screen and the fucking Cryptarch.
Yeah, once that patch goes live.
Then I'll give it 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
I will say, though, that the mixed reviews I've been hearing, I think, are mostly bullshit. A
Because
lot
they're
of people...
comparing it to Halo, and they
Yes.
think it's the same, but it's completely different.
A lot of people are comparing it. They're saying, like, oh, the content was so short or already done. And I keep telling my friends, well, there's expansions coming out in December, one in 2015. And I have friends who are like, well, I don't want to pay again for a game I've already paid for. My justification is that, well, it's, it's kind of an MMO-styled game, and at least we're not paying monthly for it, like a subscription-based.
Well, technically we are.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
For
like,
online.
that's across the entire console, not just one single game, so that's whatever to me.
Yeah.
But, shit, what was I going to say?
You were going to say
Right,
something?
when you're a company and you do a certain kind of game for that long of a time, I mean, people sort of expect that from you as a company. It's kind of like how actors start young and they go through this whole kind of series of movies and then they try to do something else.
Yeah.
And they're going, no, you're still that person.
Yeah.
So, like, when they made incorporation with who?
With Activision.
Activision, when they made an incorporation with them and made Destiny, they were thinking it's going to be like this kind of branch off, similar to Halo kind of thing.
Only because people are thinking that because Bungie was the original owners for Halo.
Yeah.
When Bungie lost the rights and gave it to 343, people still think it's Bungie's property. Not anymore. It's 343 Studios' property.
But
So they have to let that go.
I will honestly say that Destiny does have sort of that Halo-ish vibe.
It has
like
its moments.
It has its moments, but also, I think it's just the whole sci-fi against fighting against alien races, like your special warrior, this and that. And I think that's what got me so attached to it so quickly, is because it has that Halo vibe, and I love Halo to death. And but at the same time, it has all these other features and abilities that you couldn't do in Halo, which I thought would be amazing to have in Halo. But for a story like Halo, for a fact it won't work. But with Destiny, it works perfectly. Like being able to do all these special abilities, having these certain types of weapons, MMO style shit. So I don't know. That's why I love it so much.
What was I going to say? No, it's like my brain gets jumbled sometimes because I'm like thinking, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds fascinating. Okay.
And then I finally stop, and you're still
I'm sitting there going, shit, what was I going to say?
Are you going to get a Destiny in the near future?
What?
Are you going to get Destiny in the near future?
Going to? No.
Are you going to get the PS4 though?
Keep in mind, it is on cross-platforms.
I am probably going to get the
on PS4 and
PS4
Xbox
if
360.
my information is correct. That is Division going to be on both platforms?
Yes.
But you're only going to get it on the PS4.
Right.
Yay.
So, yeah.
So yeah.
Destiny comes out on the 360 as well. So
Tom
Yeah.
Clancy's
It is
Division.
the
Destiny-
coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Was
Yeah.
that the one that
It's the gameplay. It's like 10 minutes long trailer of gameplay.
was that the one that was on that one podcast that we did at his place?
Yes.
Okay.
For what?
When we were actually talking about Division.
Yeah. For like the
it's
past and
incredible.
future
There's
games and whatnot.
There's daylight or day-night cycle.
Yeah.
There's
And
weather.
which Destiny has as well.
It doesn't really play a key as far as just, your environment aesthetics, though. It doesn't really have a
but
factor.
to get immersion, I like immersion.
Yeah, of course.
Can you imagine playing that with Oculus?
What, Destiny with...
No, I mean
I would
like
go blind.
something like Division.
Oh,
Like a game that in-depth, but with the Oculus.
I'd go blind.
honestly,
I'm blind as is.
because it's third person, no. I mean, if it was first person, which I don't think would be rather fitting for the Division.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a first person shooter type game, then
Most of-
Oculus Rift would definitely work.
Yeah,
but-
most Tom Clancy games are third person. They're third person FPS.
Yeah, like especially Ghost Recon,
Yeah.
which is my favorite of Tom Clancy's, and Division does feel like does have sort of that
Ghost Recon.
Ghost
feel.
Recon vibe off of it.
Well, anyway,
Anywho,
still don't know shit about Destiny.
Well, what you can do is they have it for Xbox 360 as well.
No, I'm good.
They do?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's going to use
Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4.
I'm pretty slim on money as is, man. But anyway.
I'm not saying go get it now. I'm saying
Yeah.
that
But
you-
overall,
Keep it in mind.
it sounds pretty interesting, and I find it laughable of your impor luck because you have
My
taken
impor luck, both of them.
you have
Yeah, I
taken
know.
your. Well,
Anybody who
he's
isn't
less
tested.
lucky than you are because
We're both...
you've actually gotten some good stuff, and it sounds like he's like way down here. You're like right here.
No,
and then
not
there's
really. We're pretty close. Really, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, fuck you, Dustin.
Exactly. Fuck you. And your RNG rating bullshit.
Well, sorry for being so awesome.
Bullshit.
You're not even sorry.
That's what I get. This is what I get for being a beta tester. I swear.
I would,
Fucking beater.
I'm gonna shit my pants if that actually factors into it.
Oh my god, I would be
hilarious.
amazed if that was the
just
case.
say that.
Yes, I did.
He
You did.
What did you
He's
say?
the guy that makes references to things that should be cool but makes them not cool.
Can I kill him?
No, you cannot.
Wait,
That wasn't
wait,
even a proper reference.
for what?
For being
He called you a
beta
beater,
tester.
which
Oh.
you're not a beater. You're just a beta tester. A beater is a beta tester and a cheater.
Then again, he wasn't really a cheater.
Shot fired.
The masses just thought he was a cheater.
Well, he was
Because they're assholes.
he was a cheater, quote unquote, because he had information and didn't share it.
That's what
Yeah.
he.
Beta tester is just beta tester because he has skills, but the fact that he had information and didn't share said information is why he was a cheater. So that's why he was a beater. So the information was known across the plane. It's just you suck.
Fuck.
Well, none of you will be as cool as me because I got schematics for a ship.
Yeah, okay.
My ship was awesome.
I already had one, and it came out to
buy it. Yes, I got a schematic for it.
No, I got a
Damn.
schematic too.
Both of you have the same kind of voice, man. It carries into the beyond.
God,
I mean,
all
I know
and
that.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that is another story of mine where I found a chest which happened to be a rare ship schematic, and I went to get it researched, and it turned out to be the exact same ship design
That you
of the same ship that I have from my limited edition set. The only difference is being instead of a legendary class,
Rare.
it's a rare class,
You don't.
and it was a different name.
Oh,
yours?
yay.
So safe
Yeah.
to say, the game is awesome, and the three of us are actually wearing her wristbands.
No,
yeah, I
yes,
saw
yeah.
that. For a second, I
With
thought
our
that
powers
was...
combined. No, I'm just kidding. Warlock.
I am Captain Destiny.
Fuck off.
Dude, every time you keep saying stuff like that, I'm just waiting for you to get these, like, thick as bottle cap glasses, and you're like, you want car collection, man?
What does this button do?
Anyway. Alright, so that's about it, though.
Alright.
That's shit. Every kind of thing that is any way of announcement, I cannot finish. Shit. I'll be on like making a closing announcement. Office Depot is now closed, and I'll just be kind of hanging there going, "Fuck, what do I say?" Good night.
This was the Blind Eye Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, the guy holding the camera is...
Camera.
What
Or
camera?
Camera.
Microphone.
All right. Let me
Oh,
go ahead.
and
You just been
I
pointing that at people's mouths the whole time.
am also doing game streamings of Destiny on the website of Ustream.tv.
We know.
So be sure to check
Everyone
that stuff out. And my profile name on that is
You know.
P Daddy Blaze. That is PDADDYBLAISE. No space in between. And
That
Just kidding, go
rhymes,
check it
so
out.
that-
and yeah, be sure to check it out. I also have some of the past broadcastings recorded.
Yes, he
So,
has
yeah.
the recording of the first time he tried to do the raid on his birthday.
And the second raid as well.
We got raped up the ass.
So exciting.
So
Raped up in the ass, around the ass, and all over the ass.
In general,
with a
vicinity
baseball
of
bat that had no lube.
Fire!
I don't like you too.
Fire,
Anyway.
assholes.
So, thank you for listening to the Blind Ad Podcast for the Destiny update and cover of what everyone's been doing, except for me, Matt, and Maddie, and you. Well, that reminds. What are you doing?
She is on the computer.
That reminds
That's enough
me.
said.
When you're at work and he plays, and then you get home, do you kick him off?
Yes.
No, I kick him off when I want to play.
So yes.
Yeah. But when I get home, I'm usually on my computer watching whatever I missed on anime.
Bullshit. Anyway.
But when I'm at home and this guy is on his ass on the computer,
Hey, just because you
Okay.
suck at card games doesn't mean you have
I'll
to
be- I'll
justify
play
with Destiny.
I'll play Destiny.
He sucks at Destiny too.
Well, I'll be the fifth on that one.
Shots fired.
That is not my place to talk.
Alright, well, thank you for
You shouldn't
listening.
be doing either of those two things, Gregor. You should be working on your homework, actually. So.
What the hell is homework?
The thing that you need to do so that you don't fail.
That is a good point.
Here's the
but
thing: Gregor does a last
America.
minute, and he still gets a good grade on it for some reason.
But he stresses out about it the entire time.
Yeah.
I literally stress about it like the entire week, and then the day it's due, I'll be like just total hashtag badass. Just like, did it.
Done.
All right, so you're gonna close this off now.
Yeah, thank you for listening. This is Joshua.
This is Dustin Place.
Abby Lehu.
Anthony Izanian.
Maddie Harden.
Gregory Izanian.
I'm Matt in the back.
And he's winning.
Anyway,
Is that
it
gonna be your
is
thing
hot
now?
as hell in here.
It is.
Alright.
It's like all the heat here is just
Three,
like staying up here.
It's like all the rage.
Yeah, maybe I should just leave the room.